Welcome to part 2 of the Timeless Tunisian, and today we're going to do the narrow panels. So you have to make several of these in order to make this particular process. So we have a middle panel that you see, and then you have 6 of these narrow panels. Again, if you want to customize, you don't have to do as many, and you can make them as long as you want, which we'll cover today. So what we're having is this particular diagram here is still relevant. The difference is, and let me bring you right in right now, and what you're looking at here is that the narrow panels are missing these sections here. So you only have the center to worry about, so between B and C. This means that you don't have to have that excessive counting for these particular florets that we were doing. So we're only focusing on the narrow part right in the center. This means that you can do this a lot faster, and there's probably less counting as well. So what we want to do is that we have a worksheet for this particular one as well. And so when we back out, we did the workshop for the center panel right here, and we checked, and this sheet here is the narrow panel. So you're going to notice that the counting is slightly different here because we don't have to worry about those florets as you compare the two, as you saw. See? So it's gonna be fun, and what we have to do is that we have to get ourselves started just like the original. So the first 5 rows will be the Tunisian simple stitch, and then we will start blasting through. My particular sample is going to stop at the end of this, and then I'm going to jump to A, and A follows back over here, which is the same instructions here, and then we finish it with a B with 5 rows of Tunisian simple stitch. I need a sample of the baby size. We did the beginning, and then she jumped and did 3 repeats, and then she went to A, finished that, and then went over there. The entire blanket is all the way to number 12 here, going to A and then finishing. So you can decide, because the hook is a 7mm Afghan hook, this will grow taller faster, so you can determine how many repeats you really want to do and just make sure all your panels are done in the same manner. So we're gonna get started right away. I'm not going to show you a slow version of how to do Tunisian, because if this is video number 2, chances are you've already done video 1, but the process to make all of those particular picots are the same. So without further ado, let's get ourselves started right away. Welcome to my channel, and I'm here to inspire you, give you crochet advice, and help you along with your next project. If you enjoyed this pattern, please give me a thumbs up or even comment so I can gauge your interest. It helps me to know what to film next. So back on the original instructions that you have here, we're now working on the narrow panels, and what we have to do is that the B, C, and D, that is all the different colors. Okay, so that's not the instructions between those diagrams. So we're only focused on the narrow part. So when we go to start, we're only going to be working with a chain 20 when we begin, so you can see that it's much more narrower. It's a narrow panel for a reason, right? And then we're gonna blast through, and we'll talk about all this stuff, but I encourage you to use our free downloadable worksheet in order to make that easier for yourself. So let's grab our hook, and let's grab a yarn, and let's play. So I'm going to be using ombre today, Super Saver ombre in the color of the pink. And what I'm going to do, this is not jazzy, this is the light pink version. And what I need to do is that I need to chain 20. So let's begin and start. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and go all the way to 20, and meet me back here in a moment. Once you have your chain 20 done, second chain from the hook, get the back hump of the chain. We talked about that in video 1. And so you're just gonna start collecting those and then shoving them down the shaft as you go. So go all the way across collecting, and this is gonna be technically row number 1 in the forward pass. Now that I collected my complete chain, there should be 20 loops on there. We talked about that in video number 1 as well. So the number of chains equals the number of loops. So to do the return pass, just to recap, you're just going to yarn over and pull through the first one. That is considered a chain 1, that is your builder. And then to return pass, you're gonna yarn over and pull through 2s all the way back to the very beginning. So please do that, and I'll see you in a moment at the end of this. So this was technically row 1 of 5 for the very beginning. So rows 1 through 5 is the Tunisian simple stitch. So to recap again, number 2, row 2, second vertical always, and you're just gonna go behind the vertical and yarn over, pull through, and then start collecting that all the way in the forward pass. So this is row number 2, and please do that, and I'll see at the other side of this where I'm going to show you just to recap on how to finish this row off and how to restart going back in the opposite direction. So going in the forward pass, remember that at the very end when you go through, you have to go through that chain 1. So there should be 2 strands on the top of that hook when you get there. Yarn over, pull through there, and then the forward pass is done. To return pass, remember, is chain yarn over and pull through, so that's considered a chain 1, and then yarn over, pull through 2 all the way back. So please do this all the way back to the start. I'll be right back in a moment. So on your worksheet you've now done 2 rows. I need you to do rows number 3, 4, and 5 exactly the same way and check those off on your list, and then I'll pick you up on row number 6 in a moment. So please do rows number 3, 4, and 5. So I've now just finished up to row number 5. If it's curling on you, no big deal. It's gonna start getting a little bit more yarn on there so that it will not curl on you while you're using it on the hook. So we are going to be applying a border to this, so don't worry about that. So if that's your biggest concern right now, you're laughing. So let's continue to the worksheet now. We're going to start rows number 6 through 23, and 6 through 23 is the repeat pattern from the hollow diamonds to the full diamonds, and we're going to begin to do that next. So let's go back to the worksheet. So right now I've got my 5 done, so I've checked it off. What I'm going to do now is go in the forward pass like we did in video number 1, and it's in the return pass that we do the coming back, and it's the 9th one that we want to apply that particular picot, just like we did before. So the counts are slightly different because there's gonna be no florets in the middle of these diamonds, so it's just a nice easy way to do it. So what I'm gonna rely on you to do is that I'm going to ask you to do the forward pass on these, and the row 6 is in the return pass going back, and I'll read these to you. So I'll demonstrate it once coming back, and then I will demonstrate it once going forward in row number 7 to make sure that you're getting those picots in properly. So let's begin row number 6, do the forward pass, and meet me in the return pass in a moment. So I'm now ready for row number 6 in the return pass. So it says 9, so that's what we want to aim for. So we need to start it before we can start counting that. So we yarn over and pull through the 1, that's a chain 1, and then we yarn over and pull through 2 sets for 9 times. That's what that 9 means. So we can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Once the 9th is in, you're going to chain 3. So 1, 2, 3, and there's nothing left to do on this row, so you're just gonna yarn over and pull through the 2 sets again. So that set, that one, and the next one, and you don't need to count, you just can go all the way back to the other side. So just do that, and we'll go in the forward pass in a moment. So I'm starting row number 7 in the forward pass, and the only difference is now you have to deal with those picots to secure those into position. So if this is the second video for you because you worked on the setter panel, it's the same information of making sure you get those picots to come forward. So essentially those chain 3s. So when you get there, here's one right here. So you want to kind of shift it forward. You want to get this vertical. If you're not sure which vertical to get, just follow it up. You see this vertical belongs here. This vertical belongs there. So just use your finger, push this in front, and if it's not working in front, just push it in after. So just like after you've done the stitch. So just pull through and just use your finger and just pop it to the front side. And then that's all you have to do on this particular row because it's the only picot that exists. So you're gonna go all the way to the other side. Okay, and we'll pick you up on the return pass in a moment. So row number 7, return pass. So now that I'm at here, I'm going to do the return pass for row number 7. So from this point I'm going to read you the instructions, you're going to do it, and then you're going to do the forward pass, and then I'll read you the next set of instructions. So what I want to do for row number 7 is that you're gonna yarn over, and then you're just going to pull through and just do 8, and then chain 3 to do a picot, and then you'll do 2 and then a picot. So let me just demonstrate this one because just to make sure you get it. So you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and it should fall to the section right before the other picot. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then the instructions say 2, so you're gonna yarn over, pull through this one and this one, that's considered 1, and then the next 2 is considered 2, and then you have a picot again, so chain 3. Okay, and then you pull through your sets of 2 all the way to the other side because there's nothing else left. So do your forward pass, secure those picots into position, and I'll see you back here for row number 8 in the return pass in a moment. Okay, row number 8 in the return pass is at number 7 and then number 4. So please do your return pass for number 8 now. Row number 9 in the return pass is going to be at number 6 and 6. So please do the return pass for number 9. So row number 10 in the return pass is the widest area of the diamond, and so it'll be at number 5 and 8. So please do that for number 10. Row number 11 in the return pass is back to 6 and 6. So it'll be coming in and starting to go narrow once again. So please do your return pass for number 11 with 6 and 6. Okay, number 12 in the return pass is number 7 and 4. So please do that. So just continue along. If you are actually starting to pay attention and you did number 1, you may actually be able to see where you need to put them without excessively counting, but that's your call if you decide to do that. And if you make a mistake and you say, I followed your instructions and this is what happened, always count. That's what I'm gonna leave as a disclaimer, but I think even for myself I can actually see where the stitches need to go, so I don't have to count as much. You decide what's right for you. Moving on now to row number 13, it's going to be at 8 and 2, and so let's do that, and this is row number 13. Let's do the return pass now for number 14, and it is at the number 9, and it's the very last one that completes the hollow diamond. So just do number 9 and I'll be right back in a moment, and I'll see you on row number 15 for the return pass in a second. So now we're going to begin row number 15, and 15 is going to start us to make a full diamond once again, so the centers are going to fill right out. So to do the return pass now is number 9 only, and I'll be right back in a moment for the return pass of number 16. Okay, the return pass for number 16, and it is 8 and 2. So please do that. I'm finding myself just blasting my way through this because it is the second time going through this particular example of finding myself just like I can actually see where the stitches need to go without excessively counting, so I'm actually enjoying the process even more. So let's do 8 and 2 for row number 16 on the return pass. Row number 17 in the return pass, we're now going to start filling these things out. So a tip that I can leave with you is that once you get the first one in, it's then the second and then the second. So you're still building it out, making the Y shape, I guess. So just what is it? It's 7, 2 and 2 for row number 17. Okay, row number 18 going in the return pass, it's number 6, 2, 2 and 2. So please do that. So in the return pass of number 19 is going to be the widest part of your diamond, and it will be at 5, 2, 2, 2 and 2. So let's do that for number 19. Number 20 going back, and the diamond is now going to get smaller, and the numbers will be 6, 2, 2 and 2. So please do that, and I'll be right back. Row number 21 in the return pass is going to be at 7, 2 and 2. So please do that. Row number 22, it's going to be on number 8 and number 2. Please do number 22. And row number 23 is the last one before the repeat starts all over again, and it's at the number 9. So please do this, and it's at number 9. So let's talk repeating. The entire pattern has now been done in the sequence, and I'm at here before I start the forward pass. So you're going to continue to do this for a set number of times. For myself, I am going to jump immediately and just do the last section next, because I'm only going to do a sampler. So the very end of the panel will just be one of these hollows that you have. Let me take you to the worksheet and let me talk to you a little bit about that, and then I'm going to leave the rest of this for you in your capable hands. So back to the worksheet I come, and I've come all the way through the cycle. So Anita's, you're going to have to cycle through rows number 6 through 23 a total of 3 more times, and you can check it off in the list. The real sample is all the way, and will have 12 repeats from here, so that you can keep checking it off as you go. So you will have to do this for each panel that you will do. So the amount of repeats you can decide. So maybe if you only want to do 7, you can, depending how you decided to do the first center one is how long you're going to make it for the number of repeats. Once you are happy with the size of it, you're going to have to jump to all the way to A, and you'll do rows number 6 through to number 9 only, and so then you'll get that done. Once that's done, you're going to then proceed to B, and B is 5 rows of Tunisian simple stitch, and then it's done at the very end of the panel. So this hopefully will get yourself started. So you need a total of 6 of these particular narrow panels for the real sample. Anita only used 2 panels, so she had 1 center panel and then 2 narrow panels for her particular example, and then myself, I'm only gonna do 2 small panels, 2 narrow panels and 1 center panel in the sampler format, because I'm really using this as a launching board to teach myself. So I'm gonna leave this in your capable hands, and at the very end of this you'll need to cast off in order to do that, and there are videos on how to do that as well, and I think I covered that in also video number 1 of how to cast off as well. So if this is your second time going through this, you know how to do that as well. So I'll leave this in your hands and get that done, and I'll see you next time. And next time we're going to start and going to do some border work. So we're going to apply borders to each one of what you're looking at, and that will help settle this down, and then we'll do that connection points and final border at the end.